you've now discovered that you're facing a significant life challenge. I mean, this is not just a little bit of I need some rest. This is much deeper. Now you're out of work for 6 months. You refer to it as a healing period. Tell us about that and where that led you, where God led you really from that point.
Yeah. And that was, I would say, a really interesting time, right? Because the funny part is I came to my parents and I thought I'd be here 3 months and I'd be ready to get back to work and I move back on, right? Somewhere. And that's not quite the journey that's happened, which has been interesting. And so um and that's really because there's two parts to what he has led me to do, right? This part, and then I'm still here to help support my parents for a while. So that's kind of where on that side, right? Why, and I say 3 months became longer. He said, "You're here for a while." Okay. So, but on my own healing journey, right? When I started that, I really focused on I physically do not like where I've gotten. I always loved working out, did sports in high school. And so that was really one of my first things, right? Is learning to listen to your body. And I actually said this to my dad the other day and he kind of chuckled at me. But it was learning to listen to my body because I would push myself and I'd walk as far as I could and then I'd rest, right? And I spent a lot of time resting, sit out in the sunshine because we all need that vitamin D. That's really where it started was I was like, I've got to physically get back. And I'll tell you today, I can go for a 2 mile walk. That's where my recovery shifted. And that took me, 6 months to a year to truly get there without a lot of pain. Um, but the inflammation, not really there from what it was. The arthritis stuff isn't there. And so it was focusing on those physical aspects. What can I do? Right? What should I be doing for my physical health? Um, and then really exploring with God, why did I get here again? Right? Because I can't do this again. He called me to the mental health field. That's the only reason I stepped into it. And I've loved it. Right? Don't get me wrong. I love helping people and it did become a passion of mine. But at the same time, I started looking at in the healthcare field, we have such a broken system, right? And so it was through my journey of, okay, I need to heal myself. Why did I let myself? I was one of those supervisors who, if something needed done, I just do it. Didn't matter how much I had on my plate. I just do it. Somebody had to do it. It was easier to just say, okay, I'll do it. Right. Or a crisis worker calls me and says, I have 3 patients I need to assess. I need help. I can't tell them no. Right. That's a lot of work for one person. And so it was really just exploring and examining myself. Why? Why did that happen? What is it about my personality that led to that? And really I had to shift some of my mindsets around work that work will always be there. I can't be the only one. I know there's not enough mental health professionals to begin with, right?
Hmm.
But I can't be the only one. And it really was a mindset shift, right? Because right now I can work and I probably work 40, sometimes 50 hours a week between therapy and this business, but it doesn't have the same effect on me because I learned to listen to my body. If I need a rest, I rest. When I walk away from work, I can actually walk away from work, which is something most people struggle with, right? People can't turn off their mind. They're always thinking about work or they take it home or work from home, right? That's a
Yeah.
huge component of life now.
There's no boundaries, and and I mean, right? Everybody knows what it means to sitting having dinner with your family, or you're sitting
Mhm.
petting your cat, and you're thinking about work. You just can't get it to stop. So, where in this did you make the decision to start what you're now doing? Was it in the? I guess it was kind of the third burnout, but how did that become clear to you? And tell us a little bit about that because I want to get to your book. For
Yeah.
those of you who don't know, you'll see it in the show notes. Deidre's written a book. I love the title. I'm going to give it to you now. I'll come back to it, but it's called Burnout to Balance. And then the subtitle is Unlock Your 7 Dimensions of Wellness to Create a Life of Abundance. And she's going to unpack that for us in a minute, but just give us a little bit of what you started and what led up to the book, and then I want to get to the book. That I'm hoping that some of our listeners will say that's a book I need to read or listen to. So
Right, right. Yeah, and my journey to starting this was interesting. So I had started working again for a telehealth company, partly because I just live in a small town, but as I was working back in the mental health field, there was part of me that kept going, I have to be able to focus on the physical health too, right? We can't keep segregating,
mm,
go over here for your mental health. Oh, wait, go over here for your physical health. And really, Mike, what that led to was I joined a program to get a health coaching certification in functional medicine so that I could really feel like I could have this conversation of intertwining our physical and mental emotional health because they're interconnected. We can't really separate them, right? One affects the other and it goes both ways. And then, so it was through that kind of working on that program and really trying to connect those pieces um, that I just felt God was telling me, okay, it's time to start coaching, and led me to a mentor program that I'm part of, right? Which I think I mentioned to you before is allowing me to get a double degree, bachelor of ministry and a master in business. Um, and that's kind of where my program became, right? But what I found was my program, which is my book, and we'll get into those in a few minutes, is actually what I've already been doing with my therapy clients for the past 5 years since COVID, right? COVID really became like this turning point of clients seek me out because they know I specialize in burnout. And we talk a lot about balance with working from home. And so it just kind of became this natural shift of I need to take what I'm doing with my therapy clients and get it out to more people and help more people, right? And coaching and consulting allows me to help more people at once versus one-to-one therapy. And so it was interesting that as I built it, I'm like, that's what I've been doing, one-to-one. And so that's kind of where that came from. And that process was just what I'd been doing, and then God moved me into the coaching and consulting, and I've had mentors to help build that, and here we are.